Multifamily Mindset
Podcast. Think bigger.
Hey. Hello, and welcome back, my friends, to another awesome episode of the Multifamily Mindset Podcast. I'm your hostess, Cyndi McGuire, better known as Cyndi. Show me the money, Maguire. I do wear a few hats around here: a strategist at the Multifamily Mindset, seasoned real estate investor, co-founder of Gold Bar Partners, and mentor to many budding real estate enthusiasts. If you're new here, we're happy you found us and super stoked to have you join our ever-expanding network. Whether you're looking for inspiration, practical advice, or just a good story, you've come to the right place. At the Multifamily Mindset Podcast, we serve up fresh content twice a week to keep you hooked and pumped. Every Tuesday, we get into some real talk with interviews featuring students from our network, sharing their journey and wisdom they've picked up along the way. Then, on Thursdays, our mindset guru, Dallas Pruitt, breaks down the mindset magic from those stories. But wait, there's more. Wednesdays are all about Own the Outcome, a killer podcast hosted by the one and only Tyler Devereaux, the brains behind Multifamily Mindset. Tyler chats up with top-tier individuals, digging into their journey to success and dropping some serious pearls of wisdom. So whether you're here for the knowledge, the inspiration, or just to soak up some expert insights, you're in the right place, where every episode is your ticket to leveling up in the world of multifamily real estate. So let's get this party started. Today, I'm super excited to have a student of Multifamily Mindset, a musician, touring drummer turned multifamily investor, founder of Koinonia Capital Partners, husband coming from Nashville, Tennessee. Let's welcome Caleb Gossage. Hi, Caleb.
Hey, it's good to be here.
Oh, I'm so excited to have you here. So welcome.
Woo!
So musician, huh? Musician and multifamily. You're the first musician I have interviewed here on our podcast.
That's so cool. Yeah, it's something you don't hear every day.
No, so give us a little brief introduction of yourself.
Yeah, so I grew up originally in Virginia, in a musical family. I came from a big family, and we are all musical, played music together growing up. And then I, 2 years ago, transitioned over to Nashville to pursue being a touring drummer as well as a music producer. So my wife and I, we moved out here, and we're here now, now on the journey of real estate on top of all that.
Great to have you here. I know we were talking, your entire family are musicians. And I said, is that like the Jackson 5 or like the Partridge Family?
Very much like the Partridge Family. We had a family band at one point. We toured up the East Coast, up and down the East Coast, singing and playing gospel music for a little while. And we still come together and play music every now and then. Everybody's, kind of in different areas now.
That's so cool. So can we find you on Apple Music or Spotify, the family band? What was your band's name?
We were called Ages, since my last name is Gossage. The Gossages, we just used the last bit of that as Ages, and it made sense because we were all different ages. And my dad led the whole group, and we all just had a different part in the band. Yeah, it was fun.
So fun. That sounds awesome. So 2 years ago, you moved to the heart of country music, Nashville, Tennessee.
I wasn't originally a country fan when I moved here, but I got the country bug recently and met some amazing songwriters out here.
So tell me this transition from music to multifamily.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was about a year ago that we started looking at what is there in real estate investing. We were initially looking at single family homes, as most people do. Most people don't start immediately looking at the multifamily space because I, like most people, thought that was only reserved for wealthy people, that they can just step in and just deploy their funds. But we were exploring. We bought our single family home that we live in here in Tennessee, and that's like the usual thing that you do. But we knew that there was more that we wanted to accomplish. And as you know, in music, every day it's constantly changing what's popular. And as much as I'm going to continue to, pour myself into music, my wife and I started thinking, how can we set ourselves up for a future where, for our family and for future generations, that we can have financial freedom. And we knew that it was going to take years, but we decided that this was going to be the route we were going to take.
And so this is a business with you and your wife together?
Yeah, absolutely. We both became students of the multifamily mindset last December. And so it hasn't even been a year yet. And we have just completely, our mindset has just completely changed, and knowing what's possible.
And so how did it change? I mean, earlier you said you wanted something more. How did you
Yeah.
know? I mean, being a musician, was that not more enough?
It's a fun career. We play a lot of shows on the road, playing for some amazing people. But as I said, it's a career that it's never like this is what you're gonna ride on for the rest of your life. It's something that it's like sometimes you're going to play for one artist, then you might play for a different artist. And so it's ever evolving.
So
We
it's
saw
inconsistent.
I guess you could say that. I mean, that people say musicians are broke for a reason. Or it's just like that's a typical, thought that people have. And so, yeah, go ahead.
And we're talking about Koinonia,
Yes.
Koinonia Capital Partners. You told me you created that and found it with your wife. Tell us about that and what it all means.
Yeah, we weren't initially going to go with Koinonia. We had a different name picked out, and it was a name that was just spur of the moment. Once we were getting into the mentorship, we're like, well, we need a name. And so as we started to establish ourselves a little bit more, we started thinking, how can we start developing a brand around a name versus just having a name that we came up with? So koinonia is actually a Greek term that a lot of churches use because it has a term for community. It's the term for community joint partnership that has almost a spiritual aspect of it, that you're doing life with people and all growing together in something.
I love that, like that sense of connection with like-minded people and
Absolutely.
growth, kind of like thinking bigger and getting better.
For sure. For sure. We've experienced a lot of that with multifamily mindset. As we were just briefly saying before this podcast, that it's amazing how things can change when you just put yourself in a circle of people who are all there to like help each other grow, to learn. That's just been like one of the biggest aspects of this last year. It's just we have grown so much by the people that we've surrounded ourselves with.
So let's talk about this change. The change in, yes, you got your first LOI accepted.
Yes.
Yay!
Yeah. Pretty
Tell
cool.
tell us how that came about.
Yeah. So I've been working pretty closely with somebody else in the network, a guy named Jason Nicholson with Skylight Integrity Holdings. He is a really solid underwriter, and we have looked at several different properties over this last year together. I've been trying to learn as much as I can from him. Usually, he's able to put some numbers on a napkin and say like, "This does not work." So we have looked at a few deals recently, and this one happened to be an off-market deal in Birmingham, Alabama. that somebody sent it my way. It was actually a wholesaler working with the sellers of this property. Very interesting situation, which we can get into. But
Let's
I
get
sent,
into it.
yeah,
How
very
did this
interesting.
wholesaler find you?
Yeah, we just connected through a Facebook group. There are a lot of Facebook groups, nothing like the Multifamily Mindset Network, but there are, other groups that you can be a part of that are uh, opportunities to meet more people. And we connected on there. He sent me the deal. We started underwriting it. Jason said that somehow there is something here that is very interesting. It's crazy. It just might work. And what was really interesting about this deal, it's on creative terms. So we are working with the seller and the lender of this property currently to take over the property while uh, the other sellers are holding on to the existing note.
So does that mean you don't need to get a
We don't
new
need to get a new
financing?
loan. No, we don't need to get a new loan. We are going in
So
there.
do you have a sponsor? So you don't need a sponsor then?
Nope, don't need a sponsor for this deal. That's what's really cool about it. When you get creative, we worked out terms to where we can come in. They've already put a lot into the property to renovate some of the units, but not only have they like just it's been very poorly managed. They have just run out of capital to take it all the way to where it needs to be. And so we see a bunch of value add opportunities to come in and bring this up to where it should be.
Yes, those are my favorite types of properties to acquire. So with this seller, and does anyone on your team have experience with
Yeah,
multifamily investing? Because I know you're what, 10 months into this?
yeah. So we're bringing in a partner who is actually based in Birmingham. He currently operates about 400 units in the Birmingham area. He knows that area
Nice.
like the back of his hand. So he's coming in and he's going to basically asset manage and make sure that this property is going in the direction that it should. It's
And how
very
did you
cool.
find him?
He was actually somebody that Jason knew. Jason has been developing a relationship with him over the last couple years.
And how long ago did you get the LOI accepted? And you told me you just got the PSA signed as well.
Yes, yes. The story gets even more interesting when this actually might turn into an entire portfolio that we're able to take over. Yeah, it's going to be a little wild over the next few weeks, but we're currently in the process of signing PSAs for could potentially be a portfolio of over 300 units.
Wow, that's so awesome. So the law of the first deal, did they talk about that at your workshop?
Yes, yes, they did. Yeah.
And
It's been incredible. Just these last couple weeks, I feel like I've just exploded in terms of my connection building. It seems like I've just in the last couple weeks have built some incredible relationships with people that want to come in and see how they can bring value to this situation.
yeah, I call it laws of attraction. Like you're attracting this to you. You're wanting it and you're attracting it, so it's happening.
Yeah, it was. It's funny you like bring this up because I think back to it was early September that my wife and I we sat down and we were reviewing our goals. We just wanted to start setting small like little achievement goals that we could start making because we knew that we were not doing that initially. We were like, we're going to set goals that this is where we want to be in 5 years. We're like, let's just start making small incremental goals. I've heard Tyler Devereaux talk about that in some other podcasts about kind of like working it back. It's like these are some small steps you got to start taking. So we wrote down that by October 1st, we were going to like submit our first LOI because we had underwritten a bunch of properties, but we didn't have like any official LOI sent in.
October 1st? You mean 7 days ago?
So after we wrote that, it happened about a week later that we started underwriting this property. It was just that our mind got fixated on like, this is what we got to do. We got to start like looking uh, have like blinders on a little bit more. It's like, this is like a smaller incremental goal that we could start focus on versus like, this is where we're going to try to work to be in 5 years.
In 9 months, that's September, because you went to the workshop in December. 9 months, you decided you're going to set these goals. So are you saying you did not submit any LOIs in 9 months?
That is what I'm saying. I'm not proud of it. Not proud of it.
However, and for our listeners, so you finally do it 1 week later and you get it accepted?
It's crazy.
Your first LOI.
Yes.
That is crazy. I'm gonna agree with you. That is crazy, but freaking awesome.
Yeah, we're about to have 2 more LOIs accepted this coming week if we move forward with taking over the portfolio. So
Law of the first deal, right?
yeah.
Tell our audience what the law of the first deal is if they don't know what it is.
So I'm trying to recall at all how they put it in the workshop, but as soon as the first deal happens, that's like the hardest deal. And then each one just gets easier and easier.
So it took you 9 months, a little over 9 months to get your first deal. And then incrementally 3 weeks later, you're getting more LOIs to send out and get accepted in this portfolio.
Yes. Yes. I would like to say that I really believe that the last 9 months, it's been a lot of me just working on myself, overcoming a lot of bad mindsets, a lot of limiting beliefs.
Yes,
That's
you know
why
what
a lot of
I
us
call
like
that? I call that BS. You know what BS stands for?
what, Cyndi?
Belief system.
There you go. Yeah.
And honestly, you need to fix the belief system in order to succeed in this. You need to believe you can do this because here's the thing, you did it
Yeah.
and you're doing it and you're doing more of it in a span of 1 month. You just concentrate on your little baby goals and then it just explodes. So that, my folks, is called the law of the first deal.
Yeah. These go.
So when you got your first LOI accepted, your very first LOI accepted, what were you thinking in your head? How were you feeling?
To be honest, it was a little scary because then I was thinking about like all the things that we have to do to prepare to go into like doing official walkthroughs, due diligence. It's everything that up to 9 months like was just going through my head.
Yeah, I call it the oh shit phase.
Yes. And that's what I was feeling.
In a good manner. That's a positive oh shit phase, everybody. Okay, so now you're get the LOI accepted. Did you celebrate with your wife?
We've celebrated a little bit. We just have not wanted to celebrate too quickly because we know that there's a lot of work ahead. This is like the starting line. We think that the end goal is getting the LOI accepted. At least that was like a belief that we had. It's like if we could just get to the LOI being accepted.
My celebration is just sometimes just a happy dance, you know.
Oh yeah. There were a lot of happy dances.
That's so great. Now, you're in the middle of this one right now as we speak.
Yes.
So 10 months into this, what role and value do you bring to this team?
Yeah, so I originally brought this deal to Jason, and he brought in his other partner that we were discussing. So I did play an acquisition role. I'm also focused on investor relations. And so we are still actively looking for a couple other partners, capital partners who would like to come in. That's my primary role.
Okay. And so you are going to share your contact information later for us. But you also have another role, not just as a husband, but as a touring musician. So how do you juggle it all?
Man, uh, it's challenging at times. I think we all like will give ourselves reasons as to why something else like needs to take up a good chunk of our time. If you don't carve out that time, sometimes it just won't get done. And so when I'm on the road, sometimes I'm on the road for a whole month. Other times it's just a couple days. If I'm gone for long periods of time, it means that I'm saying no to going out after some of our shows and celebrating. I'm in the hotel room, sending emails, making phone calls, and I just have to, remind myself that it's like this. These are the types of things that I have to do with the time that I have. I just have to make time.
So you're not partnering with the crew, you're going back to your hotel room, working your other business.
That's what you got to do sometimes.
What's driving you? You're young, you're in your 20s. You got all this, most 20-year-olds are looking to party and to play and have fun. And you're getting into multi-family, multi-million dollar deals. What's driving you?
I see a much bigger future for my wife and I and our family. We have accepted that it's going to take time, but if we don't make time, it's like tomorrow is never going to come. It's always just today.
Well, at your pace, one LOI 1 week after deciding you're going to do it. I mean,
Yeah.
it could be much shorter than you thought.
Yeah. So I tell you, I still do a bunch of music. It's not going away for me. You will probably catch me at a festival like local to you because we play a lot of festivals and fairs. We do some club gigs, and we're traveling all over the country. I do love being home, and that is a part of it that I love the idea of being able to have just more control over my time. I want to be able to do music and have the control over it's like I want to do music and I want to provide value in that way, and then I can control that, by our real estate business as well.
We were talking earlier about being consistent and consistently working on this and surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals, investing in multifamily. How did you meet your partners?
Yeah, so it was through the Multifamily Mindset Network. That's where I met Jason. And we developed a relationship over time. It wasn't something that I just saw his name and said, hey, work with me on this deal. As I mentioned, we underwrote a bunch of properties together. And I developed a lot of trust because he knew when like there was no opportunity and when there was. So it took time, but he then introduced me to Reggie, the other partner. That it's just all relationships that, but it was through multifamily mindset that everything got its start.
So when you're traveling or when you're at home, what are the little things you do on a regular basis in working on this business?
So I'm usually getting up pretty early. I've tried to become more of a morning person, getting up, working out, reading. I really just try to set myself up to just move my business just 1% every day. Sometimes I'm on the road and I have to move my schedule around, but I always am feeling like I am in the right direction if I can say that I moved just 1% my business in some
So what
way.
does that
Whether
look like?
it could
1% movement.
it could be developing a new contact, uh, a relationship, beginning a new relationship with somebody. It could be looking at another deal. It could be just reading. Stay up, like I'm currently reading The Emerging Real Estate Markets by David Lindahl, which is cool that you have a personal friendship with him.
Oh,
Love
he's
that.
my mentor. He's like the godfather of multifamily investing.
It's so cool. I love this network so much. So even reading, I feel like I am getting 1% better through some of these books that I'm studying.
I love this. So is there let's go with fun facts about you. Share us a little fun fact about you.
Uh, so so touring is a big part of my life. When I'm home, I love to cook. I love to cook for my wife. I I'm always asking if she's hungry because I just need another excuse to make her food.
So what's your go-to meal? If you want to impress her or if you've been in the doghouse, which I doubt that, what is that one meal you're gonna cook for her?
We love breakfast at night. I will make her killer pancakes and eggs. Uh, I will give her a crazy breakfast for dinner. That's like our go-to thing, and we try to watch what we're eating, and like that just always seems to be our go-to. We love that.
Oh, I love everything you've shared with us. I mean, I love your story. Love the fact that once you decided you're going to put out an LOI and you do it within a week, you get accepted. I think that's so awesome. Is
I
there
know.
any is there any final advice you'd like to leave for aspiring multifamily investors listening?
The best advice that I got from somebody was like when you are in a little bit of what they call the dip, some people call it different things, but when you're just really struggling, you feel alone in this business because it's easy to feel like you're doing this on your own. They they said just surround yourself with other people who are doing it. Uh, I constantly find myself trying to like be in another room with just people who are crushing it, people who are winning. It's going to take your mood from a 1 to 100 when you see what's possible that other people are doing it, that they've been in the business longer than you. That's my best piece of advice. If somebody is, not really seeing a lot of movement in their business, just get around winners.
I know, but here's what I notice when people get into that rut or that pit, they get deeper and deeper into that pit to the point where it's kind of hard for them to just put themselves out there. So, what would you say to those people that are going the wrong way and just, yeah,
A lot of it is a mindset, as we've discussed. You really have to check what your thoughts are, your beliefs. The We only can make so many decisions in a day, and if we're making so many decisions on the wrong things, it's tough to put any mental energy towards furthering your business or growing. That's what I've just found in my own journey. It's like if I don't reserve some time earlier in the day to read and start learning, and if other days, if I'm not doing that, maybe I'm grabbing my phone and, just scrolling away. So,
like the phrase goes, where your focus goes, your energy flows.
absolutely. Absolutely. And just focusing on getting 1% better. we will overload ourselves and have that 5-year goal and be like, I'm not like getting that, I'm not moving forward to that 5-year goal. It's just that 1%. If we could just focus on that 1%, I think we'd all feel like we're
A sense
moving.
of accomplishment.
Yes.
Baby steps.
For
Although I
sure.
like to take big steps because that's just how I roll.
Yeah.
Caleb, how can our listeners get in touch with you or follow your journey or listen to your music?
I mean, I can share my contact info if that's all right.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So the email that you can reach me at is a koinonia, KOINONIA, capital partners at gmail.com. And
Well,
you
can
can,
you spell that again? Because I got
yeah,
lost.
it's all good. Yep. KOINONIA, koinonia, capital partners at gmail.com. You can also reach me on my cell phone. I'll just give it to you. I don't mind at all. It's 571-919-7732.
No
And
stalkers, please.
love building new relationships. I'm all for it.
And then social media?
Yeah. If you want to find my music, you can look me up on Instagram. I go by Scene, SCENE, for like my own music because I produce my own music. Yeah, you can find it. This is Scene _. But if you want to find me on Facebook, it's just Caleb Gossage.
Yes. So creative mind, creative with his music, creative with his financing and multifamily. I love it
Yeah.
all. I love it. So inspiring. Thank you so much for sharing your inspiring story. This is so cool. And thank you, my friends listening. I hope you had a great time with us in our episode with Caleb. And please join us again for more stories, insights, and inspiration. Until then, keep thinking bigger and get better. And in Caleb's words, at least 1% better every day.
Multifamily Mindset Podcast. Think bigger.